Our Lord's Sermon on the Mount, explained by Saint Augustine, Book 2, Chapter 23. But because this belongs to few, he now begins to speak of searching for and possessing wisdom, which is the tree of life, and certainly in searching for and possessing, i.e., contemplating this wisdom, such an eye is led through all that precedes to a point where there may now be seen the narrow way and the strait gate. When, therefore, he says in continuation, "Enter you in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because strait is the gate and narrow is the way which leads unto life, and few there be that find it." He does not say so for this reason that the Lord's yoke is rough, or his burden heavy, but because few are willing to bring their labors to an end, giving too little credit to him who cries, "Come unto me, all you that labor, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Hence, moreover, the sermon before us took as its starting point the lowly and meek in heart, and this easy yoke and light burden which many spurn, few submit to. And on that account, the way becomes narrow, which leads unto life, and the gate strait, by which it is entered. Chapter 24. Here, therefore, those who promise a wisdom and a knowledge of the truth which they do not possess are especially to be guarded against, as for instance, heretics, who frequently commend themselves on account of their fewness. And hence, when he had said that there are few who find the strait gate and the narrow way, lest the heretics should falsely substitute themselves under the pretext of their fewness, he immediately added, "Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. But such parties do not deceive the single eye, which knows how to distinguish a tree by its fruits. For he says, 'You shall know them by their fruits.'" Then he adds the similitudes, "Do men gather grapes of thorns, or figs or thistles? Even so every good tree brings forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree brings forth evil fruit. A good tree can't bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that brings not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire, wherefore by their fruits you shall know them." And in the interpretation of this passage, we must be very much on our guard against the error of those who judge from these same two trees that there are two original natures, the one of which belongs to God, but the other neither belongs to God nor springs from him. And this error has both been already discussed in other books of ours, very copiously, and if that is still too little, will be discussed again. But at present we have merely to show that the two trees before us do not help them. In the first place, because it is so clear that he is speaking of men, that whoever reads what goes before and what follows will wonder at their blindness. Secondly, they fix their attention on what is said. A good tree can't bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. And therefore, think that neither can it happen that an evil soul should be changed into something better, nor a good one into something worse. As if it were said, a good tree can't become evil, nor an evil tree good. But it is said, a good tree can bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. For the tree is certainly the soul itself, i.e., the man himself, but the fruits are the works of the man. An evil man therefore can't perform good works, nor a good man evil works. If an evil man therefore wishes to perform good works, let him first become good. So the Lord himself says in another passage more plainly, either make the tree good or make the tree bad. But if we were figuratively representing the two natures of such parties by these two trees, he would not say make. For who of the sons of men can make a nature